Hello everyone, today's construction day 113.
All right, today is Saturday. We're in a undisclosed location. We're here in Downwind, not too far from the house, standing here in the jungle. Pretty thick where we are right now. You can see a ravine down there. So we're doing our update today, probably about a kilometer from the house. So a lot going on at the work site right now. The contractor's up there and his consultant is also there. They're getting ready to put together the plan for next week. They want to get the electrical and the ceiling done. They want to start the skim coat. Then right behind the skim coat, the cement board. So things are starting to move really quick. Very pleased with how things are getting cleaned up. The inside looks pretty good. They're starting to work on cleaning up the outside. So we're very happy about that. We like a neat, tidy workstation, and you know, the guys are doing a nice job. But what we wanted to do today is I want to tell you a quick story about one of our workers, and his name is Ramil, and I'll show you a quick photo of Ramel. All right, so that's a picture of Ramel, and I'm sure you've seen him many times on the videos. He's a laborer here, and he actually lives in this area. And I've gotten to know him over the last 4 months, and you know, I try to talk to the guys every day. But I'm starting to get to know Ramel more and more, and I'll tell you why. Just sitting with him during his break, I was talking about that we took a walk and found that ravine, and that water sounds like rushing water, like a waterfall, about a kilometer from our house, pretty close to where I am now. And he said, well, as a matter of fact, I live on the other side of that ravine. And I'm like, what do you mean? You have to go across the water? Is there a bridge? And he says, no. I said, how long does it take you to get back and forth? He said, it's a 1-hour walk. So I'm like, you walk to work, down the mountain, through the ravine, and another kilometer or two to the house every day? Yes. And I'm like, and when you leave here at 5 o'clock, you know, you guys know it's dark at 6. You walk in the dark? He goes, yeah, every night. So I'm like, I need to hear more of the story. So I asked, if there's no bridge, how do you get across the water? And he goes, I swim. And I'm like, I need to hear this story. So basically, when he leaves here every day, he has a 1-hour walk. He lives real deep in the jungle. He lives by himself, never been married. And I'm going to just tell you just a quick story about Ramel. So when he was 18, got out of school and said, I need to make money. So his dad left when he was a little boy, never knew his dad, and lived with his mom in the jungle. And they had a 50 square meter piece of property. Now that's very small, guys. 50 square meters. You could do the math, but let's just say it's 50 feet by 50 feet. Very small. It has some coconut trees on it. And they sold coconuts. So what his mom did was pawned the 50 square meters of land for $100. And that gave Ramel enough money to move to Manila to find a job. So, and he didn't need that much, he said, that his mom, you know, kept most of it. But he took some of the money at age 18 and moved to Manila by himself. He found a job in a factory. He said within 2 weeks of working there, he cut 2 of his fingers off. And that's why you see him either wearing gloves or he wraps his hand in a bandana. And I've known it, you know, I've seen it, and I haven't said anything, but he just, you know, he offered the story. So he said that the company did pay for his doctor's visit, I guess to, you know, sew up his hand. And then he couldn't work anymore. So he said within 30 days, his mom had to send the rest of the money. You know, that $100, they pawned the property, and he moved back here, and he's been here ever since. And then he said 6 months after he moved back, so remember, he's like 18, 19 at this point. 6 months after he got back, his mom passed. So he's been on his own up there in the jungle. He said there's other people up there, but he's been living by himself since age of 19. He has no electricity. He does have water from a stream. And his house, he said, is bamboo, very close to like Janelle's house that I showed you, the native house. He said that's 3 meters by 4 meters. So that's what, 9 feet by 12 feet approximately, 9 feet by 12 feet. And that's where he lives. So he knows the caretaker here. So I guess he walks down to this little barangay once in a while. And the caretaker said, hey, there's an American building a home on this property up here. You might want to check it out and see if they want to hire you. And I think you guys know from the earlier videos, we wanted to hire local labor. I think it's just good for the new foreigner come to town, and there's really not a lot of homes up here. You hire local guys and it all works out. It's going to be much better for us because we help the community, and we pay the going rate, and there's no issues with that. And it gives 6-7 months of steady income. So Janelle, who's our neighbor, is very well respected in the area, and we kind of gave the responsibility to him because we probably had I don't even know if we ever put that on camera, but I would say 20 people showed up various days for a job, and I think we hired at the beginning like 6. That's all the contractor needed because he has his own crew. So Janelle picked Ramel because he knows him and said he's a great worker. So Ramel has been with us from the beginning, and he's just a really nice, quiet guy. I've got him out of his shell. When I told him, is it okay if I tell his story? He said yes, and it was all in Bisaya because he knows 0 English, absolutely no English whatsoever. But he said to Wilma, I have no problem telling my story, but I can't say it in English. Is it okay if Sir Greg just says it in English, and wanted me to just tell the story? Because I asked if I could put him on camera, and he was too shy to do that, and I understand. But we could have translated, and it probably would have taken twice as long or even longer to translate. But he was real shy to be on camera. But I just wanted to share that story with you. I mean, that in essence tells you the strong work ethic and how many Filipino families, men and women, or even you can say at age 18, boys and girls, need to move from the poor areas, the poor provinces, to find work. And it kind of shows his tragic story. But he's happy. He did tell us jokingly, he said he didn't mind me telling the story. He's 41 years old now, so he's been on his own since like 19. And he said to Wilma yesterday, while talking to me, translating, he goes, I'm single and I'm looking for a wife. So I thought that was kind of fun. So he was laughing about that, and then when he said that in Bisaya to Wilma, all the guys started laughing, and the guys here really work together well. So I wanted to tell that story that he swims across. He says he says that ravine, it's 10 meters deep and about 5 meters wide, but when it rains, it gets wider. He said he's seen it up to about 10 meters. So I said, you sure 10 meters deep? That's deep. 10 meters deep is like 30, 35 feet. He goes, oh yeah, that's how deep it is. It's a ravine. So I'm going to go down there at some point with him. He said there's every 30 days on a full moon, snakes come out down in that ravine. And, Wilma and I do not want to be around snakes. It's inevitable if you live in the jungle, but he said that there is snakes down there. Yeah, I just wanted to tell a story. I think it's a great story. Ramel's a great guy, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right, so as you guys can notice, things are starting to clean up here on the outside as well. The inside looks pretty good. We got to sweep it one more time. and a little bit of clutter in there, not much. But I do want to go over some of the landscaping plan that we have, and talk to the contractor, and I'm gonna get more involved in the landscaping project, just to give me something to do. So starting Monday, and you can see Wilma is there with Jernell right now, our neighbor, who works here on site, and they're talking through the plan. I just took about 45 minutes and we did some snap lines and some leveling, and to get it done right the first time. But we're going to start right here in this corner, and what we're going to do is we're going to start here and get everything correct. So all this is going to get cleaned up, and we did all the measurements, and I actually created some tools. Here's one tool right here, a simple 5-inch drop, and there's a couple 9-inch drops, just to make sure that we get the level right. But basically, see, that's a little low there. So all the dirt that I took out from over there to fill in some of the holes, we have that area right there at the correct level to be prepped for cement. So all we need to do now is use that Filipino level, which we just did, and we have marks going all the way across the front of the house, all the way. So believe it or not, where Ramel is right there, taking all the metal pieces and getting them cleaned up and off the property, there's a lot of dirt there. So all that dirt is going to come out and come over and start filling in right here. And we're going to tamp it down, and we're also on Monday cleaning all this up. And then we'll get these blue lines, and there's an orange line down there for the electrical. All that will be positioned correctly and buried. So starting here, there'll be cement going out 1.5 meters, and it's going to be a drop of 4 inches from the coping, because we don't want rainwater to go into the pool. So as we go this way, just a few meters, now here's the bar area. So we have to transition up. So the finished height, or that 5 inches, will be basically right here. So the concrete, the finished concrete here will be here, and then it will transition up and then go this way. And let me take the zoom out. And that'll be out still that 1.5. So that's where you have some bar stools here. And obviously you don't want a 4-inch lip. That would be not good for the stools. So come across, it'll transition back down again. So it'll come across here, go back down 4 inches. And then that 4 inches will carry all the way here in front of the house and all the way across. And that 4-inch drop that I just mentioned there is already achieved over there. So this just has to meet up. But there's a lot of extra dirt in here, which is good because we need dirt to fill in over here. And then we still have dirt to fill in here. So we're good all the way across, but here we need more dirt. So all this area will come out, fill in over here, and then fill in the pergola. That's all going to happen starting Monday. Now, we did ask Jernell to go out and get another laborer for us, so he's going to do that. And he said he'll have this done in 2 days. So then once that is done, we're going to be transitioning back to the dirty kitchen, and you guys know how cluttered that is, and start getting that to level. And he's going to take it all the way from the corner of the dirty kitchen all the way out to the carport, and then there'll be a transition of 10 cm down, and it'll come across, and he'll get all that completed. Then once he gets that done, and you can see that now that I'm taking over this project a little bit. Definitely a little excited. Give me something to do. We need to work on this, so we have to get all this trash out of here. But this still has to be waterproof the second time. So it has Sahara in it, but there's a second waterproofing that the contractor has. And he's got to come across here and do another waterproofing on this wall. Just up, like 2 feet. Then once that's done, so I'm waiting on the contractor there, we'll get the team to come in here and start leveling all this out and grading this down with a taper. A little more complicated to come down to this area. So all this is going to happen next week. I would imagine all of this is going to take, I'm going to say 2 weeks, and it's just a guess, because take a look at all the dirt that is still needs to be moved. Look at all that dirt right there. This is the correct height. That's what I did the other day, coming across. You can see the rocks we found. I'm sure there's more rocks there, but you can see how the driveway here is much higher than this area. So all of this and this monster, we'll have a big bonfire maybe. All of this will have to come out. And another thing for anyone thinking about building, we move the cement mixer, and there used to be 2 on site. Now there's just 1. They move it, to get closer to where they need, but then they pour cement on the ground. So this is actually cement. So this has to come out. And we experienced that, or I should say, I experienced that right here, where there was quite a bit of cement. And in one spot, it was like 12 inches thick from this, between the mixes and the spillage. So I had to chip all that out and start burying it over here, and you can see some of the pieces. That's just cement. Look how thick that is. Look at all that. That's all cement that just from the extra between mixes where they wash out the bucket and then just dump it. Then the water just kind of just goes downhill, and then when it dries, it makes hard cement. So we're learning the hard way, because this all has to be chipped out to get it to the right level. So I wanted to explain that because you can see that the house is really starting to come along, but the grounds still has a ton of work to do. So I'm gonna kind of manage that a little bit, and 1, gives me something to do, and 2, just the pride of getting more involved. So we're going to start in that corner and work around, and I will definitely do some videos showing the progress from day to day. All right, so we're here in downtown Dumaguete, and we're in like a little shopping area, and we're getting our medical certificate at a dentist. So here is the dentist, and I guess the doctor, who is normally off on Saturdays, is opening up for us just for the 7 students. So we're waiting for the rest of the students. Of course, Wilma and I are here always on time. We're always 15 minutes early for everything. But I guess the doctor will be here shortly, and they're going to do the medical exam at a dentist's office. So we're here in downtown Dumaguete. It's about 10-15 degrees hotter here. But all these little shops, and just a pavilion. Looks like there's an upstairs. All different businesses here. And then I'll take a walk out here and just show you the streets of downtown. We brought our scooter because we're always smart to bring a scooter because of parking. But here's our scooter right there. And this is part of downtown, so it's always very busy and difficult to find parking. So show you this way. And this is Central Arcade, which is where the dentist office is. But we're just waiting for the rest of the students. I believe we're up to 7 now. It was 5, now we're up to 7 students. And just waiting for the rest to get here, and then the doctor to get here. And then we'll get our medical certificate that's needed for tomorrow's class. So we will cross our fingers that everything will go smoothly.
So how's your doctor's visit?
It went very smooth. Doctor showed up at 5 minutes to 2. Very happy. Took us right in. We were the first ones here. Did an exam, listened to our heart and our lungs, and then did blood pressure, asked some questions, and then that was it. It was pretty simple. We got our certificate, 2 different certificates,
yes,
and we're ready for Sunday. So went very smooth. It's about 2:03, and we're out the door. So now we're going to go celebrate and have some lunch at Ground Zero.